You're welcome to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. I'm sorry, I'm developing a kind of flu, but I'll manage. I'll manage. I'll keep alive. So, morning. Today is the first day of this week, and tomorrow I have the enfant terrible that I fear most on my program, Sumbola Bajela. She's coming tomorrow for what used to be Diabumi, which we now Sheriff says we call it agony day, but anytime I look at the word and hear agony day, it just doesn't sound right. So we are still looking for, since we can't call it Diabumi again, and we take a material from somewhere, we'll look for an appropriate name to give it. Okay, so today is Tuesday. Today I invited Mr. Ige. Mr. Oluwatodimu Ige, is also known as Oga the Lawyer. He has this column, I think he has this advocacy that he does amongst other things. He'll be here anytime from now. He sent a message that there's some element of traffic on the Third Mainland Bridge, so he expects him to walk in anytime now. But I'd also wanted to incorporate with him an open mic for you and for us, all of us, to express ourselves in a most decent manner about our reaction to the pardon that the president had granted the various people. If you think of Farouk, for example, or the lady Mariam, I think her name is Mariam Abi Sheriff. Yes, I think her name is Mariam Sanda. And other to give us an opportunity to express our feelings. And I wanted Mr. Ige to be around so that we could both look and analyze at people's submissions and so on and so forth. We'll go ahead. He'll meet us halfway. What we will do, immediately I'll open up our mic, because once he comes, we might just really start talking and you might not have the chance to express yourself. We will express ourselves in the most decent of language. We will not, and I do apologize, I almost lost my temper this morning, but I'm only human. On the telephone conversation, I had a friend and she said, "You judge yourself too harshly." No, I still believe that the mark of this job really sometimes is to try and cut your emotion, but today's own was something else. I have zero tolerance for crime. Zero tolerance for crime. The way I was brought up, when I grew up in Yaba, I repeat for the umpteenth time, if you are as much as invited in the neighborhood, the police came for you for the minutest of problems, it's not likely you are coming back to that neighborhood. Because I grew up in a community where every house was not labeled by the number, but was labeled by Ile Awon Disu, Ile Awon Shodende, Ile Awon Quadri, Ile Awon. Only few, in fact, there was one, Gad Ali. That Gad Ali, so the original person, Gad Ali, was Gad. So the place was Gad Ali. I remember growing up in Wakeman, and there was a house called the Lake Man. And when they were able to rebuild it, they called it Ile Tuntun. So if you told somebody nearby that, oh, Versailles lost Lake Man, or they say, oh, Ile Tuntun. That's what I grew up. But that aside, I have total tolerance. I have no tolerance at all for anything to do with drugs. I wouldn't touch anybody who's been involved in drugs with a mile long pole. I would never, because I've lost friends to drugs. I've lost, and I see amongst other things, amongst the royal part. So these kind of developments, murder, things like that, are things that I'd rather not talk about. So maybe that has an understanding with why I had such an emotional reaction. 70% of it was, some people have calculated, were drug dealers. And so that's where it goes. We'll open up our lines now. Mr. Ige will meet us on the way. So I take my first caller of the day. Hello, good morning.
Hey, Uncle Jimmy.
Hey, quickly, Kelvin, yeah.
Yes, just like you said this morning, and I've said that earlier on about 2 years ago when we had a new government, that whatever is going to happen in this government, and whatever we're going to see, people should take it as it is. Because whatever a man sows, that shall he reap. We are still in a government, we have had a government, and this is what we're going to get. And many more is going to come. I've said it before, 2 years ago when the government came on board. So for me, I'm not going to bother myself, I'm not going to worry myself. Just like what happened in Eastern Europe in the early 90s. That is where we are. But if we don't want this pardon issue to continue, the laws are there, then let us change the law. As long as it is there in our constitution, if it is invited there, it's going to continue to happen. The pardon will continue to happen. So all those that are talking about, let us have a new constitution, let us do that, let us do this, this is an opportunity for you to tweak that section of the law for us to have a better law and remove it. If you don't remove it from there, other presidents will also do it, or will do is also complain, and it will continue. Thank you.
Okay. I also wonder, because this was supposed to be done with the approval of the Council of States, and I wonder those who constitute the Council of States, and if they were all in agreement, I wonder if it's just a rubber stamp assembly of people. I wonder. I've not accused them of being a rubber stamp, but I just wonder if there's any robust argument. In the case of Sonda, for example, you didn't even downgrade it from death to life imprisonment. You went straight to freedom. You didn't even downgrade it from, say, okay, to 15 years to whatever. It just went straight to freedom. And here is somebody that was found guilty by the court of law. And like somebody said, you claimed, Mr. Nonoga claimed that it was because of representation of the family and the two children. Do you know how many people also have children that are in our jails? Exactly. Is it because she's from a high net worth family? It's very sad. And the things we do brazenly, the same thing goes for why don't you have a general amnesty for all those who are involved in drugs? Why should one be different from the other? You might as well open up, the cells are congested anyway. You might as well have reduced everybody's sentence and sent everybody home. That I would understand. It's very sad, but like I said. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
Obonyo Peter from Shongotedu.
Yes, sir.
For me, I think the president, for me, look at the hard work that Buba Marwa have been doing.
Yes.
If I were Buba Marwa, this would demoralize my spirit. I will ensure I will resign. Because it's of no use convicting hardline drug, and at the end of the day, you release and you go back into the society and commit more hardened problem on this. And again, I want to draw you back to 2015. Nigerians complained about Jonathan. It was not coming forth for tackling the Boko Haram issue.
Yes.
And it was the Boko Haram issue that Nigeria rose and got him out. Don't you think that this state or situation that the president have done might take him out for 2027? Nigerians considering this that happened might pitch a tent on this and say, we'll take the president out for this that he has done. Good morning, sir.
Well, my prediction is that I don't think it matters much to Nigerians. Sheriff, I'm sad to say, I don't think, I think, excuse me, those of us who are that affected, where we might be in the minority, I think the Nigerian ethos has changed, and Nigerians have a great tolerance for crime. Because given the 60s, for example, who would have thought in the 60s that you want to forge your certificate when there was less ways of proving it? All the jobs that I got, my certificate had never been scrutinized. It's just said your CV, and it is believed, But recent times, and then what I find funny the most is how people try to turn logic on his head. I don't know since when a man's certificate has become such a complex issue. Jimi Disu presents a certificate. He went to Unilag, put a letter straight to the registrar, and the registrar replies, he should have a copy anyway. If he doesn't have a copy, let him go to the university. He will get a certified true copy. I don't get this. You want to hire ministers or whatever, appoint ministers. There's a requirement that asks for their educational qualification. If you don't have my 1971 WAEC, I did schools at twice, 71 and 72. If I write a letter to the registrar of WAEC, I can easily get a certified true copy. I don't know when this became such a complex issue. For 1 hour with Chenwo Okibaloye, the minister's assistant was a bit to the left and a bit to the right. It was moving backwards and forwards. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I honestly don't think it matters to people. Or we have now made it appear that these things don't matter. Let's take another call there. Hello, good morning. I hope Mr. Ige joins us soon. Hello, good morning. Hello,
good morning, sir.
Morning, Pastor.
Sir, I want to quickly say this. You know, there are things that aid some certain things to continue. There are certain actions that when people take those actions, others that are coming behind is after all. Don't be surprised. That man that beat somebody on a broad daylight to death, don't be surprised. Sometime, he will be among those that will be given this kind of amnesty. And that will embolden those who are coming behind. You see, for the fact that somebody has so much power to do something, that power should be exercised with discretion. Especially now that we are rebuilding the nation. And they told us that we should not demarcate the country. So I want to ask you, something like this, knowing the figure of the drug addicts that were involved, is this thing not going to demarcate the nation more?
Okay, thank you very much. I think I'd like to observe that an issue. He talked about discretion. Discretion is built on beliefs. What is discretion? When a man is given the opportunity to use his discretion, he will use his discretion according to his beliefs and values. So if he has tolerance for crime, or he has been involved in serious crime as a manner of living, of course, that is what you're going to have. If he has tolerance for crime, a lot of the things you're talking about will not matter. It's as simple as that. There's no other way to look at it. So this thing called discretion, and let me be honest with you, laws are meant to guide. At the end of the day, a leader rules by a discretion, and his discretion is formed by his beliefs. I could never, as a president, sign off to say that drug barons, or in the case of Sonda, she should go straight from the gallows. She should go straight back onto the streets. It can't happen under my watch. I wasn't brought up that way. I don't have such beliefs. Because some of us think further than our personal interests. For once in our fight against corruption, we finally were able to jail a prominent politician. And then we will go and say, okay, we pardon him and write it off the books. I can't get involved in things like that. There's a rule that says, I think if 10 years after you've been out of jail, then maybe there can be some rehabilitation back into full rehabilitation in society. He will jolly well have to wait to serve as a deterrent. But you can see the brazen manner in which those whose hands have been caught in the cookie jar. You can see the brazen manner in which they behave now, because they know there's tolerance all over. But the question I keep asking is, what kind of society are we going to have at the end of this kind of tenure? How many of us, those of us who believe in these values and whatever, should we move to another country? Or should we take a pill and just die and go away? These are questions we need to ask ourselves. And if you look at the story of societies like that, they never move 1 inch in terms of development in reality. There'll be a lot of propaganda, because part of the tolerance for crime also deals with propaganda. That is telling people lies about the truth situation. You know, if you look at if you grow up, for example, in a place, your table manners, know how you eat, don't eat anyhow, don't do this, don't do that. Those little things they train, they tell you that they are doing salad down the road. Go there and grab whatever 2 pieces of meat you can bring in here so that we can cook. Remember, poverty is not about lack of money. It's in the mind. It's in the mind. So that's what we have, Pastor Ladipo. I don't know about discretion. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good
Uncle
morning.
Jimmy.
Mm.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
This is Mr. Kuchi from Bariga.
Yes, sir. Please go on.
Can you hear me?
Please go on, sir. Go on, please. Time is gone.
Okay. I want to contribute to the discourse. You see, we should know the person ruling us. If you come to Bariga now, most of the area boys and criminals, staff who have stolen, have committed different crimes, they've been released from prison. And they are
Really?
here. Most of them are even telling us they are waiting for 2027. So all the shenanigans of pardon of cleaners or whatever is all about 2027. We know the person really knows. So we just be praying that the election should be peaceful. That is what we want in Nigeria.
Okay.
But we know where we are going. But I know the Lord in heaven will save us.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to correct one impression, though. I don't know where he had found. I don't know whether there's been a mass release of prisoners, Sheriff. Have you heard anything like that? Okay, I know. So let's be focused on what we are talking about. I wouldn't like to think that there is a mass release of criminals who are waiting for 2027. Do not let us raise an alarm over issues that don't exist. What we have is bad enough. Don't let's exaggerate it. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yeah, this is Kenny from Shomolo.
Morning, Kenny. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Trust you're well, too.
Well, I'm trying hard to stay well.
All right. You know what? What gets me really upset is when people say Donald Trump freed this person, freed that person. Donald Trump is not such a stellar role model, for us to justify Tinubu's actions. I agree 100% with your analysis earlier this morning, and it's really amazing. And then those area boys that are saying they're waiting for 2027, they should be calm because, it's like man proposes, God disposes. Good job, Uncle Jimmy.
Okay.
Have a good one.
That, Sheriff, oh no, Efalashi, what does he mean by they should become man, is it disposes or proposes? Man proposes, God disposes. Is loaded with meaning. Do you have any idea? Can we tap into your expertise?
I just know that it's deep.
Do you believe in divine intervention in matters?
Oh yes, of course.
So we should intensify our prayer.
On what? Depending on what you want to pray for.
We can't continue like this.
Oh, okay. That
can't-
one, I don't think prayer can.
No, I can continue to pray that God will open everybody's eyes, including those who are ruling us, to know that there is more to this thing than what they might benefit. But let's take another call. Hello, good morning. Mr. Ige is not here yet. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, morning.
This is Malik speaking, sir.
Hello, Malik, how are you?
Uncle Jimmy? Fine, sir. In a situation that a country where you find yourself, that somebody will see 100 billion and the court will ask the person to pay a fine of 50 million or 100 million, do you think that country will go? Then again, what pains me in this issue you're talking about is that the policemen that are trying to serve that country now will be disappointed.
Yes.
And say, why should I arrest a criminal?
Yes.
Why should I arrest a criminal? Why should let me take my own money and leave the rest?
Yes, I even wonder. I wonder about Brigadier Mara's state of mind in the past 48 hours.
Yes, sir.
I can imagine after working so hard to incarcerate these people. Then, but don't let's. I think it's Malik, Abi.
Secondly, sir.
Yes.
Malisa. Secondly, sir.
Yes.
The society, you are pushing young ones to commit crime more, and they will have that nothing will happen.
Of course,
morning,
now. Of course. It's a source of encouragement. We're paying for what we got. We went to the supermarket. What we got is what is on the receipt. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
See, everybody with him own wahala. Every day comes with its own version of challenges, and you have to be ready to face them, because only then can you move on to the next. That's why I never miss my breakfast. Scratch that! My peak breakfast, with the nutrients and energy I need to face each day, one challenge at a time.
Every day is a good day to power on with a peak breakfast. Have you had your peak? Reach for your peak.
Mommy, Golden Penny is giving away 4 billion Naira prizes for the 65th anniversary. Just buy Golden Penny noodles, pasta, or semovita. Check inside pack for code. Send code on WhatsApp and win airtime instantly. With 10 packs of Golden Penny noodles, 3 pasta, or 3 500 grams or 1 kilogram semovita, you can join the raffle and start a chance to win cash prizes, kitchen makeovers, and even a car.
Promo starts from September 22nd, 2025. For more information, visit www.goldenpennypromo.com.
Whatever you need, whatever you love, no long joy is delivered. From the app, it's on the way, bringing smiles, brightens your day. From the smallest things to the biggest, Jimi's got it all in full, yeah. From appliances to clothes, beauty products, you can also pay on delivery. Deals on deals, great deals, great prices, every single day.
For whatever life needs you may have, Jumia is here for you. Download the Jumia app today. Jumia, joy delivered.
What does it really mean to live limitless? It's a sojourn in Gombe, leading a procedure in Lagos. It's SMEs showing up every day, pushing through the odds. It's students in remote towns streaming global lectures in real time. It's you making big moves in London while chilling by the pool in Abeokuta. It's power, it's freedom, it's mounting a router outside and connecting it inside for super fast internet. It's Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Enjoy unlimited data for limitless living with Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel.
In the kitchen game, there are players and then Agba Ballers, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Agba Baller with the new improved Maggi chicken flavor, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric to bring out your top game in the kitchen. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
Remember the name Arenas Plus. When malaria strikes, Arenas Plus. Remember the name Arenas Plus. When you feeling down, Arenas Plus.
Arenax Plus is the name to remember when you need to beat malaria with ease. Arenax Plus is a combination of artemether and lumenfantrine and is effective in the treatment of malaria in adults and children. So the next time malaria strikes, remember the name. Arenax Plus beats malaria with ease.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see a doctor. Available in pharmacies near you. Arenax Plus is a quality product from Swiffer.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things.
Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need, natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
As we mark another client service week, Cool FM, Wazobia FM, Nigeria Info, Kids FM, and Ariwa Radio want to thank and appreciate our reputable clients for your continuous patronage to our brands.
Merit 24/7 Media, Havas Communication, Gitan Communication, Masscom Media, Primus and Advertor, QVT Media, TWA Concepts, Asher Tribe Media, Fail Blanche, Momentum Media, DCO Concepts, SBM Communications, Dynamic Minds Consult, Rich and Gift, Peacock Media, Scout Media, Brand Eye, Fuel Communication, Noah's Ark, SBI Media, Adrian Homes and Properties, Intercity Media, Base One Consulting, All Net Media, New Page Consulting, Weatherhead Advertising, Co-Creators Hub, Simply Black, Gate Media, Lens Africa, PenEdge Media, Renco Multi Solution, Ornico Media, Alexia Media Solution, Max Edge Marketing,
and many more. We assure you that our outstanding and timely service delivery will always be our priority as we offer more to serve you better.
What can you do in just 2 minutes? Brush your teeth, get dressed, or warm up your food. In 2 minutes, you can also buy your motor insurance with Leadway Assurance. No queues, no stress, just 2 minutes and you are set. Visit auto.leadway.com today. Leadway Assurance, ensuring happiness since 1970.
The voices that speaks the truth. Live from the heart of the conversation.
I think there's nothing that has strained our nerves like this concept of unity.
The politicians who are pushing out this narrative, they are not tribalistic, but they are making you tribalistic.
Nigerians have expressed their outrage over the certificate forgery by Nigeria's Minister of Science and Technology.
Same-sex marriage, Church of Nigeria rejects election of new Archbishop of Canterbury.
That the people that are killed in the Boko Haram or terrorism across this country are only Christians. That is unfair.
We are complaining. Election will come. We will still collect 1,000 naira and still pay for the same people.
Gas was to be sold by Dangote at 800 naira. It's all these gas dealers that block it.
Match your actions or match what you are saying with reality.
Stay with us. More coming up on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
You're listening to Jimi Disu, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu and Mr. Ige. Finally made it. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Thank you.
You are known as the people's lawyer.
Oga _ the lawyer, sir.
Oga _ the lawyer. Quickly, what does that mean? I mean, what is it? Some kind of advocacy?
Yes. Well, I have a social media page where I, tend to interpret the law and also advise people to stay on the right side of the law.
Do people need to be advised to be served, or they need to be advised about the law? Whether they now want to stay on the right side is left to them.
Yes, yeah.
I think generally people should know what is good and what is bad. But that's not why we're here. We go straight to the point. I wanted to take your reaction on the recent list of the pardon of citizens by the president. Not to ask if he has the power to do so, he does. He has the discretion to choose whom he please. But is the discretion not guided?
Well, the truth of it is, like you said, Section 175 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria gives him that prerogative. However, there is also, by that Section 175, particularly 1 to 3, subsection, says that there is a council. So there is an advisory council on clemency. This includes the Attorney General of the Federation, some judges, and of course, they also put in some thought leaders and clerics for opinion and perspective. Now, it is the responsibility of this committee to now look at the people that have been profiled for clemency or pardon. This committee sits on it and say, oh, this person is this person merits, instead of giving them life sentence, the death sentence, let's commit to life sentence.
Yes.
If it's 50, let's reduce to 20. So it is the responsibility of that committee to now advise the president and bring forward a list for the president to assent to.
Are you convinced that this committee actually did meet and deliberate, or was just like a walkover?
Well, it's quite unfortunate. If you look at the list and the pardon, one will now begin to wonder what our policies are. When you begin to grant pardons to drug lords, grant pardon to terrorists, it begins because as a nation, our reactions would really tell people what we are really serious about.
Yes.
And if you now begin to pardon terrorists, that means that anybody can say, let me do it in the next 10 or 5 years. I'm sure that I'll get a presidential pardon. For me, it's an opinion, and I strongly believe that as a nation that is going somewhere that wants to teach values, we should not be looking at giving drug lords, terrorists pardon. And I would want to know the reasons behind that committee suggesting the persons who have been given presidential pardon. And unfortunately, you now wonder if somebody has been given death sentence, why not commit it to life?
To life.
As opposed to letting that person walk away. These are questions that have agitated my mind, and I wonder that we are in I don't think that we are walking the talk.
If you're not walking the talk, what do you think the consequence of all this will be?
Well, the truth of it is that the consequence is that people will generally now say that they don't want to obey the law. Because what's the point? Why do I have to obey the law? There have been times
but if you say you don't want to obey the law, remember that it will also be determined by who you know.
Very well.
The lady who committed murder is not the only person on death row.
Yes.
You understand?
There are quite a few. There are quite a few
whose circumstances might be even more compelling.
I agree with you, sir.
The Farouk man who was given the pardon, the former rep guy, he's not the only politically exposed person. He's not the only person who is there. There are loads of former civil servants and whatever. But I am of the opinion that Farouk Lawan is going to play a prominent role in 2027. And that's the reason for bringing him out. What worries me over and over again, repeatedly, is the brazen attitude of those who lead us, doing things that will benefit them for their own idiosyncrasies. Something that a lot of people appear to as being minor, okay, very, very minor, for me is a big event, and this doesn't surprise me. If you have a president who wakes up and just overnight changes your national anthem without the input of the people and takes you back to your colonial days, that tells me something. If you have a president who, the minute he's sworn in, says subsidy is such a big and with these things, my belief is that if care is not taken, more will come. Do you agree with that?
I agree with you. The more you test the waters, if you see the reaction of the people and you say, oh, well, nothing is going to be done, they will keep shouting and nothing would happen. Of course, it gives you, you say, they give a man a mile, he wants to take a yard.
I let you take it to yard alone. This will not take past yard. So what should we just take it like that? There's nothing we can do. As a lawyer, it bothers me. Is there any way, for example, this decision can be challenged in court?
Well, the truth of it is that the Constitution empowers the president. It's a prerogative of mercy. That means that it's at the discretion of the president. He has a right to exercise his discretion. But of course, in the court of the public opinion, there's been a lot of kickbacks saying that the way the president has exercised his discretion doesn't portray us as a nation that is serious. Of course, world over, everywhere in the world, or most of the insane climes, the prerogative of mercy is subject to intense lobbying, wherein you see people who even employ lobbyists to talk to to write to the presidency, to write to those who are concerned for pardon. But the state will only consider that pardon if it's going to be something that will be beneficial to the state. And that's where we have a difference here in Nigeria. The pardons that have been granted is not something that will be beneficial to the state, but to politicians. Like I've said, Farouk that was granted, probably because he has a role to play in 2027.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes, as opposed to,
and it's to juice up the Northerners. I think Farouk's own, I strongly believe, is highly political. Highly political.
And that's on his staff.
But okay, this is not in the realm of legal whatever. If it was, in your own opinion, if you have a leader who takes arbitrary decisions like this, do you necessarily think that is do you necessarily think that such leadership would augur well for a country or a community, where a leader does what he likes as long as he likes it, without looking at the larger consequence?
Well, for me, I am a strong proponent of systems and structures. If we build a nation of arbitrariness, it's an invitation to chaos, it's an invitation to anarchy. We must ensure that our system works. The moment you collapse system and structure, things will go wrong. And, it's a tendency for dictatorialism. If you begin to say that the president can make arbitrary decisions, no, we will not accept that. We will challenge that. And unfortunately, democracy is a system of checks and balances. Yeah. That's why we have the Senate. That's why we have the judiciary. But it's so unfortunate that they are more of a rubber stamp. They are rubber stamp institutions. I'm trying to use my words carefully. But you would observe that it's supposed to be checks and balance. You are not supposed to rubber stamp.
Can this be checked by the National Assembly?
Yes, the National Assembly can. Of course, the National Assembly can say, what is going on? The exercise of this, ordinarily, even the list should pass through, certain parameters, checks to, these are other arms of the government. They should be notified. These are the people that we intend to pardon. This, of course, is discretionary for you to pardon. But at the same time, since these other people, the other arms, are part of, they are arms of the government, they ought to be notified of those who are going to be granted pardon.
Your senior colleague, the Attorney General, do you think the NBA will take him to task on this?
Well, he's a member of the committee. I want to believe.
Yes. If this is the way I look at it, I believe that an Attorney General should be ready to answer to things like this, or else he should show his whatever. He has his practice. He can say, sorry, I will not be a part of this. So for as long as the Attorney General doesn't object to this publicly, we can say he's complicit.
Well, it might be difficult for the Attorney General to object publicly, because he is, as a matter of fact, by the constitution of that body, he's the head of that body. So whatever decision that was reached,
so we will also hold him responsible.
I agree with you. Yes, we would hold him. As a matter of fact, the bulk of the blame, because he's just the leader that takes the bulk of the blame, yes. But that committee should actually be the ones bearing the brunt of the public backlash, because they looked at by whatever parameters they reached the decision to grant clemency to these persons. And of course, I agree with you that the NBA as a pressure group can write to the Attorney General to express their dissatisfaction at the
also wouldn't they ask him to be explaining the rationale?
Well, they would, of course, the committee. I saw on my way down here. I think I saw a post from the State House on why these people were granted pardon. That they looked at so many parameters.
No, in the case of Mariam Saunders' own, they said that her family made representation to the government, meaning that her family is well connected and able to get through to the government, and talked about the children they left behind. But what about the family they left behind with the son? When there is injustice in the system, it tends to do more collateral damage than when people believe that justice has been done.
And justice must not be done; it must be seen to have been done.
So, you lawyers, what are you going to do about these things? Because this is not the first, and it will not be the last. And we've been having what I would call these, at the very least, to put them politely, social breaches of things that are within the purview and the powers of the president, but have been a complete misuse. In my own, what are you going to do about it? What are you just going to sit back and say, well, he has the powers?
Well, as lawyers in Nigeria, particularly the NBA, has been so forward, at least particularly this administration, have been complaining about the indiscretions of the government. And further on that is to also advocate for amendment of our constitution. Because it is high time that we need to look at these things and ensure, yes, that there has to be a balance, and it must be in compliance with today's.
Mr. Ige, attempts to balance have been eroded. We have a National Assembly. Is there any balance there?
Yes, that's why the National Assembly must sit up.
The National Assembly it might as well be more of a rubber stamp than even the Attorney General's office.
Yes, and it's quite unfortunate.
Let me ask you before we go. Yes, unfortunately, we don't have the 1 hour, but I'm going to invite you back.
Thank you, sir.
For other things. Let me ask you, in the light of this, and in the light that Zaki has been let go of, Igboho has been let go of, would you say that isn't it about time we allowed Mr. Nnamdi Kanu to go home?
Well, yes.
Even your senior colleague said yesterday in the papers, Femi Falana, SAN, that his story is issue is political. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If you are doing all this, why didn't you say that Nnamdi Kanu should go home?
I align my position with that of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana. Yes. That just like you said, justice is spread across. You can't allow some people to go and other persons face the brunt of the law. I think it's high time that we are fair, regardless of emotions, regardless of sentiments. What has this man done? That if you want to try a trial of 10 years is not justice. That guy has been in out of court for about 10 years.
The argument could be that the trial is ongoing.
Yes, that would be the argument. But of course, we're in a nation wherein you can fast track the judicial process. We can do accelerated hearing for him. Let him have his day in court and reach a decision.
If you are rehabilitating Boko Haram people, who is working for his back now, again, my strong suspicion is against 2027.
Who knows? He might even be made an ambassador of of one governmental agency.
He's not ambassador. He'll be needed here.
I'm not talking about consular or diplomatic now. Most these days now, everybody who does something wrong is given an ambassadorial role or a special assistant on something.
One Amala joint in Shomolu have made their ambassadors. Ambassadors what? What? That was introducing him to you that the Amala joint have made you the ambassador. He said everybody is an ambassador. Okay, our lines are still open. Let's take one or two reactions again so that Mr. Ige can be. Were you hearing us?
Yes, I was.
So you heard some of the submissions that are made. Our lines are open 0201277099 and 0201465719. Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir. Kodogo to Esquire.
Morning.
Gabriel calling from Lekki.
Yes.
Kudimi, I respectfully disagree with Kevin. See, Nigeria has some of the best law in the world. Implementation has been the problem. And we keep on saying it. Change the law 1 million times. Kudimi, it's the people. It's the people. It's the people. Let's pray that God give us people who have the mind of their own. Please do enjoy the rest of the day, sir.
Okay. Do you agree with that? I mean, in line of the fact that one of the biggest contracts of this administration did not go through a bidding process. So you do have the laws, and they are brazenly broken.
Yes, that's. I agree with the caller that we have a plethora of laws. Yeah, no, it's
do you feel that we are unduly docile?
Yes, I believe that there's a lot of docility and complacency. The law must bite.
But is it that we don't? Is it that we don't have put such a high premium on the issue of the law, or is that we are completely just lily-livered? We can't just stand up to anything.
No, I believe that one of the reasons why our laws have not been so active is because the people who are in power don't want the law to bite, so that they can get away with a lot of impunity.
Yes, but isn't it about time that society beat them, not kill them, but bite them a little bit to tell them that, no, sorry, the law is not an ass. Some people say the law is not an ass. If the people don't like the practice of, they should be able to show some legitimate resistance.
Yes, I agree with you, and which is, there's been a lot of advocacy.
Well, we need your colleagues to help lead us in that matter. Hello, please, can we take a last caller for the day? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Disu.
Yes.
God bless you there.
Yes.
This is Barrister Peter Oko, and I'm calling from Mende, Maryland.
Yes.
Yes, concerning the issue of pardon.
Yes.
I think that the president, in my own opinion, the president did not exercise his discretion judiciously, because when you are supposed to exercise your discretion as a president, it's a very open sea, and you must be very well guided, because you are the leader of the nation, and whatever you do will rub off on both this generation and future generation of Nigerians. So I think that some of the pardons were not necessary, like the Ogoni 9. That is okay because it happened under the military government. Uncle Jimmy, my feeling is that this constitution we are using is not the Nigerian constitution. This is a military constitution by Abdul Salami Abubakar committee.
But the military are also Nigerians. So what are we talking about? I don't like that reference to the military. It's part of what the politicians use to divide us. A constitution is a constitution. A constitution is a constitution. It can always be revamped. It can always be reviewed.
Amended. Yes.
It can always be amended. This idea that one constitution was military, they were fellow human beings like us. The difference is just that they put on the uniform, and like Fela said, in uniform like cloth, not tell this one. So I don't buy that. What I think is there's a lot of bad behavior in the political class.
I
believe that we have enough laws to make our society a better society.
Yes.
But we have this brazen attitude, and it's because we refuse, like you said, to enforce the law.
Yes.
So where do we go from here?
We need to ensure that our law works, because the truth of it is that if you'll be shocked at what our constitution contains. We are agitating for an amendment. What we actually need is compliance, substantial compliance, because when people infringe the law with impunity, even senators, people who are in power, like the certificate forgery. Okay,
yes.
Are we okay with resignation alone? The man has not been prosecuted.
He could be pardoned.
What does that speak? That means that
before we go, because just about 1 minute, yes. Is there anything that allows self-pardon?
Self-pardon? No.
Can the president pardon himself in case I'm more?
No, he cannot use his discretionary discretion to pardon himself.
Does the law say so?
No, it does not.
But you just believe it's indecent.
Yes, it's indecent.
So he can pardon himself.
Yes, it's indecent. And
let me let you go. That's where we let you. That's where we landed for today. I think that one day we might have a president who wants to pardon himself and will damn everything.
I agree with you. If we keep going at this rate,
because the issue of certificates, it's not only that minister that has certificate problem.
Yes.
Is there any other person
No, there are quite a number of people who have been alleged not to have the proper certification.
Do you want to give us any example? Or
none comes readily to mind.
Okay, thank you very much. We'd like to thank Mr. Ige for here. We are going to bring you in again so we have more time. Well, that's all we have for today. I'll be back tomorrow with Sumbola, the XQC. I think she's Obasa House. I don't know whether she's Obasa House, but tomorrow is going to be a riot. The way things are going, I might not go under the table and let Cherif Dado her. So we'll have that. Thank you very much again, Mr. Ige. What's Up Lagos comes up next, so don't go away.
.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.